Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I am here on a Friday night with my ride or die, Drew, to do some power rankings for episode 2 of the Challenge 38. Drew, how are you doing? And are you ready to start talking about these players?
I am doing well. I'm wearing my Tom and Jerry Best Buddies hoodie because I'm talking
Aw.
with my best challenge buddy here with
Woo!
Chantele. And I think I'm ready. I think the tiers are going to get a little messy this
Ooh.
week just because so many players did not get a confessional. So it's going to be interesting where we decide what that means for other teams. But I'm excited.
Absolutely. So Drew said that he kind of came up with some new potential tiers that we might implement into the rankings this week. And then also, I have a little game for Drew because, Drew seems to like stumping me a little bit. I was on his channel a couple of weeks ago with Chris and Corey L and Karina, was it?
Yes.
And I got smoked. And so I did want to just bring something back, maybe for Drew to have a little bit of trivia. Not necessarily trivia, but it's going to be about this episode. So we'll introduce it a little bit later after we say hi to everybody. But I thought it might be an interesting way to go through the episode with seeing how well Drew knows what went down. All right. So first, let's say
Okay.
hello to some of our friends here in the chat. Hi, Chris. Hello, lovable Nikki. Thank you for being here. Carly, yes, you are here. You finally made it, and it's going to be a fun one, I am sure. What's up, Bakery and Reality Realness Squad? Yes, Kipping Claus, thank you for being here. Hi, Diana. Hi, everyone. I finally get to not only make it, but a minute early. Yes, and we were, I think, a minute late. So you are 2 minutes early, which is amazing. Yes, let's go, Sam. Hi, that's not a Sim. A Sim. That's not a Sim. Gotcha. Hi, Jose. Willie. Yes. Hi, Angel and Chantel. What is going to be discussed tonight? Well, definitely a lot about Turbo will be discussed tonight for sure. Hello, Taylor. Okay, with the tiers, yes. Okay, so we should just get right into that. Hello, Jelly Donut. Will we be getting a global championship breakdown? Not yet. I think we might do that maybe something separately. We haven't talked about it yet, but as these lists are coming out, we definitely are going to want to have a little chit chat probably about it. I don't know. Are you looking at these lists, Drew? Or are you muting them?
I've come across a few of them, but I've taken a glance at them, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still like mixed feelings about the whole global championships, but we'll talk about it at a different time.
Yeah, we'll do focus on that. Maybe we'll do like a separate little stream. Team Emmy, okay, sure. Did y'all see the Emmy video? Jose is asking. No, have you seen this video, Drew?
Yes, I
What
just saw it
happened?
before coming in here. She was calling out challengers and people that were critical of her, calling her rude. She was rude to production. They claimed, some contestants claimed that she got fined for being rude or breaking the rules. And she went out and did like an IG live or IG video and was like going down the list of everybody that called her rude and was just reading everybody. She was reading everybody. Corey L, Jack,
Should I find it?
Josh.
Should we watch it?
I mean, if you can find it. I mean, we can play it here, and it'll add to the discussion of why Emmy and Nama is no longer in the game. But I mean,
Do you know her
hearing
last name?
uh,
Pan.
uh,
Hold on. Okay, Emmy, the challenge. Let's see if we can find it quickly. Emmy. No, not that Emmy.
Emmy Russ,
Ru-
Russ, Emmy Russ.
Okay.
Where did that
Thank you.
come from? What the
Go,
heck?
go, Drew.
I got it before Chris and Sam said it. I'm gonna say it right there. I didn't look at them. It came to my brain.
Sure. Okay, let's see if it's still up. Oh, she has 240,000 subscriber or followers. That's a lot.
She has been in a ton
Oh,
of
I wonder
reality
if you
shows.
think is it her like kind of in a dark, like seeming like a car?
Yes. Also, Challenge Shade Room also has like the
Hold on.
made a video of like a compilation video of it all.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna play it. Okay, hold on. Let's pause that. I'm going to be watching it live here with y'all right now. So I haven't seen this yet, of course, because I hadn't heard about it. But let's see what Miss Emmy is saying. Let me know if you can hear. Oops.
Cover me in gold.
I can hear.
Usually, I really do not enter in these details that the other people from the challenge are talking about me, but I'm getting so many screenshots. People laugh about them, and so do I. But I want to let you know, because people who know me from reality shows, they know I am everything less a liar, and I'm always saying the truth. So I want to let you know who is a liar on the challenge and who does not lie and is honest. So there's a girl with like short pink hair, like I don't even know her name. She's saying that I got fined for breaking the rules.
Who's that?
Jack.
Lie.
Oh.
I never got fined. Bitch, I even got paid for quitting. So then there are like two alts, like the second option. I understand they didn't even made it into the show and they're so frustrated. So what can they do? Then talk about people who are being talked about. Well, but that's okay. But when you lie, I'm going to expose you just as your partner did. Let me explain. So one guy said I was so rude and I never left my hotel room. Should I explain that for real? So how do you know that I'm rude when I never left my hotel room? The other guy said, yeah, she was even so rude to the production team. So you're just exposing actually your old partner. So how do you know that I was rude to the production, which is actually not true, if I never left my hotel room? So, oh my gosh, you guys are so ridiculous and so unauthentic. Maybe if you stop lying, people will be more interested in you and you will get on so many shows, just as I did with only 23 years old.
Oh, and also, which is so typical for men, actually, the second guy I was talking about that was like, yeah, she was rude to production. He was so desperately trying to flirt with me on the hotel quarantine. And when I told him I have a boyfriend, he was even asking me questions like, yeah, but do you laugh him? Bitch, excuse me?
Is that it?
I think that's it. That's all I saw. I don't know if she goes into any more, but it looks like no.
The hell are you doing? You're telling the queen of reality to shut up?
Okay. I don't think that was much of a read. Like, I wouldn't be like, whoa, if I were any of the people that she didn't even mention. Like, she should have mentioned some names if she wanted to be more petty. You know what I mean? But this is
I don't
just
think she
kinda
knew
weird.
anybody. I'll be honest.
True.
I don't think she knew anybody. She was calling TJ CJ at one point. She's like, I don't even like. In one video, she's like, I think the host CJ was. So I mean, I don't think she really knows anybody. That's why she couldn't call anybody out. But the challenge shade room put the tweets that she was talking about over the video, and the last person she was talking about, the guy that flirted with her, she apparently that was Josh. So yeah,
that's
it makes
funny,
a lot of sense.
Because
yeah.
I mean, Josh, I still don't think. I don't know. I'm not sure about what he likes, and like, I just think that sometimes he like tries to shoot his shot, so he appears to be like some like, oh yeah, I'm a ladies' man. But like, yeah, that's very funny that it was Josh.
Yeah.
Jelly thinks that Emmy Queen. I don't know. Like, I didn't really think that was that great. Watch the first video. What's the first video? There's more?
I don't know. I didn't see the other video. That's all I saw, so I don't know what the other video is, but I'll be down.
All right. Well, that was a fun little beginning to this episode. Is there anything else about the episode that you want to talk about, or do you want to just get right into our power rankings and then we can talk about it as we go along?
I guess we can talk about it as we go along, because I think we're gonna talk about it as we go through the tiers. So I don't want to like talk about it and then talk about more, like it again. So I'm pretty good, unless you want to talk about something, which I'm totally down with.
Nope. I think we can get right into the tiers. So I will pull it up, and then I guess you have your new tiers to present to us.
Just new labels. I was thinking
new labels.
And I'll be honest, these just came to me like randomly. Like
Oh,
I
like
didn't
like
put
a
too
gift
much
from
thought
God,
into it. I don't know about
a
that.
gift from the challenge gods.
All right, we're not Derek and Scott Yeager over here. We're not going to do that. Come on now.
Okay, this is where we had everybody last week. So I'm thinking what we should do is maybe just go from the bottom to the top and just like reshuffle people around.
Okay, I'm down with that. If we want to do it.
Okay, so what are the new tier or the additions to tiers or the alterations of tiers that you wanted to input here?
Okay, so I have the 6 tiers, the same as you. We can talk about them if we want to add them to just change them, change the names or whatever. I thought because this is a new episode and new things are happening, we could change the bottom tier's name from Nelson's Speech to Nam's Luck.
Yes, I'm in. Yes,
The same with Pussy Chicken. I'm pretty cool with that.
Okay.
I actually have, because I feel like we need a more neutral for the Dead Team Walking, where Dead Team Walking is. So I actually moved Dead Team Walking to down 1.
Okay.
And the one where Dead Team Walking is now is
I did that wrong.
What happened?
I think I did that wrong. One like this.
And I got rid of that. Yeah, I got rid of the no ride, just die, because I think Dead Team Walking is almost the similar. But then I have in the middle where Dead Team Walking is riding the fence. Because they're like in the middle. We don't know exactly where they are, what they could do. So that's where I put riding the fence.
Oops,
I like stirring the pot. I think was really good. And then Loyal to the Soil is decent. I'm cool with keeping that. Or I put earned their stripes as like a more challenged theme, but I'm cool with keeping Loyal to the Soil if you're cool with that. I just thought earn their stripes could be a different alter, but I'm cool with that.
We can always come back to Loyal to the Soil, but we could do earn their stripes this week.
But that's my suggestions. That's just what I came up with in the 5 minutes. We can go back. We can reshuffle them. We can come back with different ones next week. So,
do I have them in the right order that you wanted them in?
Yeah, I think that's great.
So,
I'm cool with that. If you're cool with that.
Pussy Chicken, Dead Team Walking, Riding the Fence, Stirring the Pot, and Earned Their Stripes. Earn their stipends. I love it. I think it works really, really well. Yes, Nam cannot catch a break. I did hear someone in one of my comments was saying that Nam was given the option to choose a partner. He chose Berna. Berna wasn't able to do it, and so that's why he just left it up to producers to put him with Emmy, but he didn't actually choose somebody to be his ride or die after he didn't have Berna. So could we say that it's slightly his fault that he didn't take that into his own hands?
I think we can. I really wish that he would have gotten Berna as a partner, because I think they would have been a really solid team, and I think they would be 100% for the rookies and really shaking the game up. But I think also, this is the thing. If you don't do your research on certain players, yes, they might have a good resume on paper and seeing how many reality shows Emmy has done, but there were people that reached out to me that actually watched her seasons in the country that she was on those shows, and they were worried about her and Nam because they knew her track record. Right. So I think that the challenge, if Nam was like, I want Berna, and then the challenge was like, well, we got this person on call because of their resume, yet they did not read or like actually watch into her stuff. I mean, that's on everybody involved, I think. Like, it's just a miss on everybody. But Nam is the one that takes the biggest hit, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Emmy's really feeling good about herself with all these Instagram live videos and stuff. So, I mean, she's doing good.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, she has a lot of followers. So I guess that's probably why she got put on the show. And maybe they thought that she was going to cause drama. Maybe she thought she was going to be stirring the pot or whatever, but they didn't realize, if they go a little deeper, that she wasn't a reliable contestant, unfortunately. Okay, so let's just start with talking about them. So Nam and Emmy, like they just have to be the bottom of the bottom this week. Emmy did not even get a confessional. Nam, we have a confessional from Nam being like kind of upset. TJ at the beginning of the daily just basically says Nam and Emmy are out of here. Like, and they're done. So they are, to me, on Nam's luck level of tier here.
100%. But I also want to throw this in there. They reshot that because if you go back to the trailer, TJ does the whole thing of you should have picked a better ride or die. Hope to take care. Don't take care. Hope to see you never. He does that whole speech. But I think because they wanted to cut Emmy completely out, they redid it to where TJ was just standing in front of everybody saying, okay, Emmy and Nam have to be, because production was just that petty that they didn't want her to get any screen time in this episode at all. Like that, to me, that is another level. That's another level that they were just like, yeah, we're going to just reshoot
Production
it.
hates you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bad tier. I decided to take them all off. It was just going to be, I think, less confusing.
That makes a lot of sense.
To pull them all down. I think we'll have an idea of where they were last week, though. An idea. Okay, so we're both in agreement here that Nam's luck is like producer hates you, like you probably will never get back on the show again. Like, no bueno for these two. Yeah, sorry, Nam, but those are the breaks. Them the breaks. All right, next up. Man, I hate pop-ups. Let's go. Oh, these people are out. I should have another tier for them. How about Kim and Colleen?
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Yeah. Or I mean, did I start the last one? No, I think I did. So you go.
Yeah, you did. I'll start by saying this is gonna be difficult because this is one of the teams that did not get any speaking roles. All we saw was at the Daily Challenge, a little bit at the bar. We saw Colleen kind of in her outfit and kind of dancing a little bit. To me, this is tricky because with rookie teams, if they don't make a big splash early, like we saw with Olivia and Horacio this episode, it's almost like if they get screen time, just know that you should be worried about them. So I almost want to say dead team walking or pussy chicken kind of thing. Like, I think it's dead team walking is where I'm kind of like putting my vibes out there.
Yeah, I think, let me think. I don't think they're pussy chicken necessarily. I think that they are going to be, I think they're dead team walking for the fact that, like, even this episode, Nani was like, let's just throw in Colleen and Kim. It doesn't ruffle any feathers. Like, nobody cares about them. Nobody cares if they're going to go in and do well, if they lose. Like, they are really inconsequential to anything that's going on in the game. It doesn't seem like they have a strategy yet. It doesn't seem like they've made any alliances yet. So they're just so inconsequential that I think that they're a dead team walking. I think that they will be up for consideration from both the rookies and from the vets. And I can see them being part of that the four people often until they go home.
I mean, they were nominated last week. I mean, they did make a semi 4-person alliance with Johnny and Raven, but they were nominated. They were in the draw last week. So to be brought up again is not good by a vet team and a rookie team. So yeah,
and like the only reason why they didn't get put in there was because John Bananas pushed to have Jay in there. Because if it was up to Nani, Colleen and Kim would have been in there, and so she would have saved Michelle from facing the draw.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they're dead team walking. I don't think anybody respects them right now in the game. They're just somebody that they can throw in without having any blowback, in my opinion. Who do we want to see next? Should we go to Faisal?
Yeah, we can do Faisal.
Faisal. Okay, so Faisal and Mariah. I want to put them in the pussy chicken category. Do you know why I'm putting them in the pussy chicken category? Because he talks so much bull. And then he is one of the only men that didn't make the first jump onto the platform. He didn't even, like, most of the men went first, if not all. And it was usually the women that were not able to complete the task and forcing them to DQ. He didn't even make the first jump. And so I don't know. I think that he's a pussy chicken. I think that he's all talk, no action. Like, I don't think that he would have been wanting to go down and face Turbo. Like, I think he's a big pussy chicken.
I'm okay with putting him in this category because, again, this was one of the teams that didn't get a confessional. And you could look at it, Colleen and Kim. You can look at Johnny and Raven, who got only one confessional each. You could look at Tommy and Annalise, who got no confessionals. But those are all rookie teams. And this is Fessy or Faisal. This is Faisal, who has now, this is his 4th consecutive season. He has made it to the finals twice. He should be a bigger personality. He should be demanding camera time. Like, come on now. You want to pick fights with CT, but CT was getting camera time every single season that he was on. Yet you can't even get screen time at this point. He can't even pay to get screen time on this episode. And I mean, I just think that that's not a great sign. And
is that Nom's luck level?
Not a great sign for him, but great for us that want him to just like cool it a little bit. But he's relegated to Casey status at this point with being just behind the scenes and not being seen at all. So yeah, I'm cool with putting him at Pussy Chicken.
Pussy Chicken. Kip and Claus says, I'm so glad Fussy didn't get any screen time. And no, that wasn't a typo, Fussy and Yucky. I get you. Don't worry. We remember Fussy. Because it should be Fussy Chicken.
He wants to go by Fuzzle this year.
He talks so much bull, but didn't get a single confessional this past episode. Yeah, that's like rough. That's real rough. I can see why Fessy was originally an alternate. He isn't doing anything. Yeah, he's so weak sauce. And I agree, Jelly Donut. He is not King Horacio at all. He must be jealous. Oh my goodness. Yes, Fussy Chicken. Maybe that's the new name for this tier.
That is great.
Definitely really funny. Wish we wouldn't have had Emmy. Would have had Emmy and Emmanuel rather than Fessy. I think that would have been a more interesting pair. We would have had the dynamic of Michelle and Tori and Emmanuel. Like, that could have been interesting. And then also have the Fessy, Tori, and Michelle. So it definitely could have been a lot of interesting dynamics in there. So we didn't get it, though, unfortunately. All right, who do we want to see next?
Do we just want to keep going with the people that didn't get any confessionals? And
okay,
go with, like,
tell me who's next then.
You want to do Tommy and Annalise?
Oh, I forgot they're on the show. Yeah.
I would. This one's a quick one for me. I would put them right next to Colleen and Kim. Dead Team Walk-In. You would think that they would have more of a stance because one, Casey was missing for the first episode, giving them an in to the Big Brother numbers if Faisal was worried about not having enough numbers and wanting to keep that Big Brother strong kind of vibe going. But Casey came back this episode, so it doesn't even matter. And I don't think they got any confessionals. I think they got like 3 confessionals the first episode with everybody's introductions and then nothing this week. So again, if you see them getting camera time, just know they're most likely going into elimination and they could be leaving. So yeah, that's where I would put them.
I mean, there's no real argument here from me. They are another dead team walking. There's no visibility in this episode, no seemingly establishment of an alliance or a working agreement. We did see Tommy dancing in the club, so we can see that he's at least socially seemingly starting to get along, at least with Tori. They were dancing together. I don't remember seeing Annalise even in the background of the club, which is interesting to me because I thought that she might have been somebody that gets into a showmance with a Faisal or somebody of that nature. So, yeah, they're a dead team walking to me. I could see them easily being thrown in because nobody is going to receive any blowback from anything that happens to them. And I don't think that they're not scary at all. Like, they're going to be just happy to be here. So yeah, they're dead team walking to me. I agree with that for sure. Who else got no confessionals?
Let me think. Johnny and Raven got only one confessional each, but they went into the elimination, or they were in the draw at least. And I think that's it. I think that's
Did Jack? Jack didn't get one, so we could do Jack and Laurel too.
Jack got one.
Oh, well then, want to do Johnny and Raven?
Sure, you can start it off if you want.
It's hard to say with Johnny and Raven, right? Because last week they made a big power play. They wanted to be making these moves, going against the vets. Absolutely, I thought that like they started off with a big bang, and this week it seems as though they lost a little bit of their like chutzpah. I get it. They weren't in power. So it's different. It's obviously different how you're going to be acting when you're not in power anymore. But I would have loved to see a little bit more strategizing, or when they're in the interrogation, like offering up something instead of just kind of like, I knew that it was going to get blown back and we're going to make this big power move. And like, Johnny's saying like, you're swinging for the fence, where the fence, like all this stuff. Like I would have liked to have seen them do a little bit more strategizing or do something a little bit more political. And so it was just kind of like a waste of their move last week, since they didn't really, I don't know, they just didn't do more. I wanted to see more from them. I don't know where to put them. Maybe riding the fence. Because if I put them at riding the fence, like they are kind of riding the fence of their alliance, we'll say. They're not willing to give up any information. They're kind of like riding the rookie fence, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that, because they did stand up to Bananas and Nani somewhat in their interrogation, because when asked about the move, and then probably asking who he's working with, he did not give up the information. He basically said, and Raven said, I think Raven actually said it, saying like, this was our decision. I mean, nobody really influenced us. We were the ones that said the names, and we decided to pull the trigger when we decided to do it. So I think that them standing up to the vets, a 7-time champ in Bananas and Nani, I think that stands for something. I think they're a dead team walking if they don't win, because of the big move, or the moves that they made in the first episode is going to haunt them over and over and over again. But I do think that I would put them higher than dead team walking, because they do have an alliance. They do have deals around the house. It just might not be the most powerful people. Well, definitely not the most powerful people this episode. So I agree with you on that stance.
So we're putting them up at riding the fence, so to speak.
I would agree with that.
Okay. Like, it's not exactly that they're riding the fence, but like they're not making.
They're teetering.
Yeah.
They're teetering in the game, I would say. Like, you can look at it that way. They're teetering in the game of like, they could get into power, but when they're not into power, it could be a volatile week for them kind of vibe.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're not there, and they're not a strong enough rookie, like the leader of the rookies, that like they would be like a strong stance on one side or the other. Like they're kind of still like, they don't want to ruffle the vets' feathers, but they're not actually pledging allegiance to the vets. So yeah, do you know what? They are riding the fence. They are.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Because they're not in power.
I have another team here that barely got any confessionals, and that I would put in riding the fence as well, as they are kind of tied to Johnny and Raven. I would say Chauncey and Amber, if you're cool with going with them next.
Yeah.
Chauncey, I'm surprised. Chauncey was actually the person that got the confessional this episode. Nothing from Amber, despite her being a champion, despite her being a vet in this game now. This is her 3rd challenge season, but they weren't able to complete it, just like a lot of the other contestants on this season, the daily challenge. But nobody was looking at them. They weren't even brought up in the idea of being thrown in. They weren't even a thought to anybody yet. I think that they are kind of like right in the fence of, we could work with some of the vets. but I have this rookie alliance that is going to be helping me out, to where they could like blend into the middle ground until a few of the rookie teams or the vet teams that are on the opposite sides of the house of each other could like fall away. And then boom, here's Amber and Chauncey kind of like maybe picking up the pace towards the middle of the season when there's more people that have fallen off and they're now seen as a bigger threat, despite not being seen as a threat at all come the early of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you. They are definitely riding the fence. I think that as soon as Johnny Bananas and Nani got into power, like Amber's like, zip it. Like, we are not in an alliance right now with Johnny. We didn't just all put our hands in. She's just like, we are part of the vets right now. Like, I think that she definitely was like, let's cool it. We're not cool with these people. Like, I think that she definitely was kind of hiding to not appear to be part of that group, because we saw pretty clearly that the people that got blowback were the people that were conspiring and working with Johnny when he made that move, who knew that he was going to make that move, and Amber was in there. So I think that riding the fence would definitely be a good position for that team to be in, because I don't think that they want to be opposite the vets when they're not in power.
Exactly.
Basically. All right. Who do we want to see next? Who got very few confessionals? They get a lot. Should we go to Jack and Laurel?
Yeah, let's do it.
Jack and Laurel. I don't know if it's exactly stirring the pot, but I think that that's where I'm thinking of putting them, with how Laurel and Horacio are kind of starting a little bit of a flirtmance. Now, it's not necessarily stirring the pot, but I feel like it's going to make things a little bit murkier, a little bit messier, having them be in some sort of flirtmance relationship, because if they start putting their trust in Laurel, but Laurel is kind of only loyal to herself, and so I could see her using them to, like, Horacio and Olivia to protect them, but I don't know if she would necessarily offer that back in return, or maybe she would. But I think that this dynamic, this relationship, could lead to some mess in the future. So I'm going to say it's kind of indirectly stirring the pot. That's my thought.
You absolutely read my mind when you started, because I was like, where would I put stirring the pot? And then you said it. I completely agree. We already saw Jack stirring the pot with calling out Colleen not being on Love Island in episode 1. So you know they're going to be doing whatever they can to stay out of eliminations. And then you have Bananas and Nani coming into the game, which I think Laurel saw as a lifeboat or a lifesaver in the game. Absolutely. Because I don't think she's like connecting with a lot of the rookies. And so seeing Bananas and Nani instantly gravitating towards them. I mean, we saw Bananas having that confrontation with Turbo in the tunnel, in the hallway to the bathroom. And then once he left, Laurel was like instantly in there like, oh, we got into it like on day 1. He was like this, he was like that. Oh, yeah. Then when Nani is having her confrontation with Turbo in the bedroom, who's right there? Laurel. And then she's getting the confessionals of being like, yeah, Laurel's Nani's going after Turbo and getting to finally say it. You go, Nani, this is the Nani I love. And it's just super into it. You could just tell that she was the one probably putting it in Nani's ear. Like, Turbo was the one that said he wanted to go into eliminations. He wanted to see, and that's when Nani went over and was like questioning Turbo's intentions of wanting to go into an elimination. So I think it really starts with Laurel and really stirring the pot and getting Turbo possibly put into elimination, or at least I think Turbo was going to put his name into the ring anyways. But I think Laurel and Devin could have had a hand in like at least notifying Bananas and Nani, like, this is what's been going on kind of deal. So I definitely agree.
Yeah, I definitely like didn't even think about the fact that how Laurel really put that, but I mean, it was pretty obvious that
Mhm.
Turbo was rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. But I think that Laurel saying to Bananas over and over and over again, like, no, this is what he did, telling them the situation on the boat. Johnny has his own experience, because when we see Johnny and Nani in the deliberation, when they're talking, they're like, people have been telling me that they want this guy out of there. Like, people or Laurel. So I think that she indirectly got her way here. And I think that that is definitely stirring the pot for the season, because that became the entire action point for the whole episode. So yeah, they're definitely stirring the pot. Hundo. Who are you? Are you laughing at my hundo? Who's up next?
Well, we can go with another person that didn't get a whole lot of confessionals, and that would be Nelson and Nerys, where all Nelson did was talk about Olivia and Horacio at the Daily Challenge, being like, you guys got to look out for these people. Like, whoa, look at this rookie team. And then Nerys, all she talked about was Johnny and being worried about him. So they did get some screen time. They did get more screen time than a lot of the people that we've already talked about in this episode, but it wasn't substantial. It wasn't like they were in the thick of it. They weren't talking about anything game related, which could be seen as a good thing. They're not on anybody's radar, but it's nothing to really to hang your hat on with anything. So I don't know, right in the fence, I guess, would be my thing, because they are a decent team. Like, they have that good synergy with each other. I just don't know I don't know who they're positioned with in the game. I know he's close with Jay, but we haven't really seen a whole bunch of conversations with Jay and them. So I put them at right in the fences, but I could be persuaded elsewhere.
Well, I mean, like, I wanted you to persuade me elsewhere. Why are we in such a lockstep today? Because, like, I don't think that they're a dead team walking. I don't think that they're going to be up next. Right. I don't think that they're a pussy chicken team. Like, I feel as though he's like, we saw when Nelson did the daily, like, he nearly fell down, but he pulled himself back up, and like, everybody was cheering for him. So like, I don't think that he's pussy chicken here. He may have a little bit of Nom's luck in the fact that he doesn't really get any dailies that he excels in, or that he can win. I wonder if it's going to be a joke of the season. I think Matthew, when I did my recap on Wednesday, had mentioned that he thinks that it might be something like a Kiki comment, where we get a producer asking Nom every single episode whether or not what was the last time he won in a daily. So that could be Nom's luck a little bit, but I don't want to put him that low, obviously.
Agreed.
And yeah, so I think that riding the fence would be the best position for them right now. We assume that they're going to be working with the vets, but then I could also very easily see him and Johnny getting into some sort of, kind of alliance. Nerys is hanging out with Johnny, and so they kind of could be in the middle between the vets and the rookies. So that would be considerably riding the fence to me. So I'm agreeing with you again. It's happening.
I mean, this is only episode 2, everybody. I'll be honest, this is going to get way messier once, I guess, all the teams are finally in the challenge and we can start like really diving into lines and alliances start to appear. So this isn't like shocking me that we're like so lock and step just yet, because this is only the first 2 episodes. And again, not a lot of people had confessionals. Like, I still don't feel like I know half of these teams, especially the rookie teams, that are not getting any screen time whatsoever. Whether they have nothing to say because they're not in the thick of it, or they're just not that interesting. And we will get to see them a little bit when they're in trouble, but I'm cool with this.
Jelly, is Nelson and Olivia together now, or was it just on the show? Like, I'm sure that they were, flirting, canoodling, whatever on the show, but like, has it extended to outside of the season?
I believe it was the first episode where they were in the bar scene, and then she had a confessional this episode that said that she was deathly afraid of heights and love, and then they cropped in Nelson like rubbing his hands together, and
the
then
creepy rub.
yeah, come to daddy.
Hopefully Night T gets his daily win this season. Do you think that he will get it this season, or do you think it'll just be a gag of the season?
I think it'll be a gag until it happens. I think that
Do you think it will happen this season, though?
I do think it's going to happen this season. I don't think they would harp on it as much if it wasn't
that's why
going to
Matthew
happen.
was saying he thinks it's going to be like a Kiki confessional. It's just the gag of the season for the whole season. They just ask him every episode, when was the last time you won one of these?
But then again, with the spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't know the ending to the Challenge USA, Danny ended up winning. So it was a gag that followed him the whole time. So it had like a payoff where he got to call Kiki at the end, and we got to see Kiki at the final episode. So that's where I'm going to kind of put it. I hope he gets it.
So Nelson is winning the Challenge 38.
Oh, lock it in. Lock it in. He's not on my team, but lock it in.
Yes, Willie's agreeing with us. Nelson and Nerys are riding the fence. Unrelated, but Nerys looked so good in her confessionals this week. I mean, she's a stunning woman, Taj. She always looks pretty good. I hope we get the Kiki on the Challenge one day. I've been asking Danny about that, but because they have such a young child, that it's just very difficult for them both to be leaving, or because if it was like a ride or die situation, or like not exes. Sorry, I just misspoke. But like, friends, foes, lovers, whatever. I don't know what the theme would be, but yeah, they wouldn't be able to leave together right now. So, boo. Let's see if there's any other comments that we just want to catch up on. I think so. No. Okay, so who do we have next? I think we should let's do a couple that had more visibility this episode probably than like all the previous seasons. Let's do Casey and Kenny. Now, TJ did surprise us, and at the end of the daily, we thought all the teams had gone. He's like, oh, one more team's left to compete. Come on in, Kenny and Casey. Kenny got a couple of confessionals, well, at least one that I can remember. Casey, I think, got one, made Nani really happy that she was there. But I still don't know necessarily where they sit. So I think that I have to put them also at riding the fence. Because, I mean, we do hear her supporting Nani when she's talking to Turbo, saying that, like, you know, you can't reason with Turbo. He's not the type that you rationalize with. But she didn't really push an agenda any certain way. Like, she didn't really say much or have a real opinion as to what Nani and Johnny should do in the situation. That we saw anyways. So she's not stirring the pot at all. She didn't win the daily, so she didn't get any power. We know that she's going to be working with Bananas and Nani for sure, but she didn't really do anything else. Her or her brother. Maybe he earned his stripes for the fact that we don't know anything about her brother, and he was able to be one of the only few people that completed the challenge, the daily. So maybe we could take him up to earned his stripes. But I feel more strongly towards riding the fence for them.
So I'm so happy that Casey got to come back into this game, and she got slightly more screen time than when she had last episode, where she was gone for 90%, 95%. She comes back to finish up the daily challenge, get 2 confessionals. Her brother gets 1. And can I just say, in that 1 confessional, her brother says that I'm normally the shy and introverted one. Meaning what? That Casey is the more dynamic personality? What are we doing here? What is this cast choice? Oh my gosh. And I'm going to be honest. I would put them in riding the fence because we can't put them really in dead team walking because Casey is a champion. She's not going anywhere. I would say riding the fence for the sole fact that I see her, now that she has her win, I see her now as the same as Jordan was in Total Madness. Casey is not here necessarily to win. She's here just to help Nani propel further into the game. And that was what Jordan did in Total Madness. You could tell a total difference in him when the whole time he was talking about it was, this is for Tori. I need Tori to get her win. We need to push Tori to go in as early as possible and get her red skull. I don't care if I get very far. And he didn't, because Tori left in 8 and he left in 9. So I just feel like I feel bad for Kenny, but I also feel bad for us. We have to deal with Kenny and not him getting any confessionals. But the whole point is Casey is there for Nany, and that's it. She's not even looking at her own bank account or her own game. She's just like, whatever that helps Nany.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. And even when originally when Nany heard that Casey and Kenny had left with they're gone, like, I think that part of the plan was they were going to do whatever they could to make sure that Nany and Bananas got at least to the end and give her the chance to run that final. So she was probably like, oh my gosh, that's like a really powerful person to have on her side. Like, regardless of if she's interesting in confessionals, she still wins stuff. Like, she does win dailies. And so that could be power that could be useful to help propel Nany forward. So I totally agree with you there. So yeah, riding the fence, she wasn't doing much this episode. Neither was her brother. And yeah, I don't see them doing much for their own self-interest this season.
Agreed. Yeah.
Jelly Donut says Casey's better at getting COVID than providing entertainment. Ouch. But she has got COVID a few times.
Yes, she has. That is a great, solid comment.
Rough. Oh my goodness. All right. Who do we want next?
Do we want to talk about Jay and Michelle?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's talk about Jay and Michelle. I think this is the most interesting team that could possibly be put in different tiers of this game. So Jay and Michelle, episode 1, I was very high on. I was like, man, they're in a good position. They're finally in a good position. And oh, how the tides have turned from just 1 week with the addition of a Banana and a Nany. I worry for Jay and Michelle now. I mean, they did get called out because Bananas has this huge grudge against Jay because of Morgan, even though neither of them are dating Morgan at this time. But he will never not have a grudge. If you have something against him or he has something against you, he will never let it go. Just ask Rachel Robinson from The Island all the way to Battle of the Exes. But to me, I feel like Michelle and Jay, man, I feel like they could be dead team walking. It doesn't look good for them as they were thrown down with 2 of their allies this past week. And if Bananas is in the game, he can chirp into Laurel's ear. He's got Devin and Tori now in his back pocket, it seems like, because Devin was super excited to see Bananas in the game. Now Jordan and Anissa are coming in the game, and then Darrell and Veronica. And if we remember from the Ready to Launch or Ready to Ride launch special, Darrell was even questioning Jay and being like, that guy's sneaky. We got to worry about him. So if Johnny is on everybody's radar, Jay and Michelle are linked to Johnny, and now they're on the radar. They're not looked at as a true vet, and now the rookies could be getting some shots taken at them. I just really worry about them. I would put them in dead team walking, but I want to hear you and what you think they lie, and I am persuaded to go possibly lower. But
lower, like as in a pussy
lower.
Chicken or a Nom's Luck.
Yes.
I mean, I can make an argument for Nom's Luck.
Okay.
Because Nom's Luck here, like, he seems to have a good partner first season, Lolo Jones, right? We thought that he could have been in a good position to do well. And then something about Nom's vibes, Lolo catches some odd feelings and then kind of spirals and isn't able to compete anymore. So something about his energy, allowed that dynamic not to work out anymore. I'm not actually blaming you, Nom. I'm just making an argument here. Just bear with me. And then the next time that he comes in, he hurt him. Did he have COVID and hurt himself, or just hurt himself?
I think he just the first season he hurt himself with Lolo Jones. He had to be
Oh.
looked at for his back, and then the second one was COVID, and he couldn't test out in time.
Okay. But then, yeah, there's just always so many things that are going on about his game. Now with Jay kind of came in, and I was rooting for him. And was it his first season when he was kind of not paired up, but like friends with Josh, but then Josh used him as a scapegoat, or was that his second season?
Second season.
But like he's gotten that concussion from Rogan. Like he did have a little bit of a redemption when he beat CT in that season, in that elimination. But it just seems like he doesn't have the cast that supports him doing well, and each time he's made an appearance. So like he should have done well, like Jay, we're saying here, when he was with Teresa, but like he allowed that dynamic not to work. Like they could have, I think, won that, because I think they both have the stamina. They're both small. They would be able to do a lot of different things. They would have at least gotten to the final, but like he allowed the dynamic and the way that he interacted with the people to make him be public enemy number one. And so it just seems like he doesn't have the luck of having a good cast that wants to work with him and support him doing well in the season. And same with Michelle. She's got kind of Nom's luck as well. Whereas like we want her to do well, but then she gets paired up with people, and then Emmy sees the list, and then she's all Survivor strong, but then people want to get Survivor people out. Like she doesn't seem to be able to get her footing into the game, and she gets kind of voted out, or she leaves the game early. So I'm thinking that these are all kind of elements of Nom's luck, that they're not able to use the opportunity to its fullest because they don't have the right dynamic.
See, Willie, I see your comment about how you think they should be in Dead Team Walking. But the one thing I will say is that they are good players, but I think there is that tension of stress that we did not see from the first episode with them. And it got like, we would have probably seen it as the game progressed slowly and after episode, and maybe they were be tested in little ways. If, say, Laurel and Jack would have gotten into power, or Tori and Devin, and then they were put in or whatever. But because Bananas and Nany enter the game, it just quickly like escalated their problems with each other, and it bubbled up to the surface, because what we hear from Jay and Michelle's strategy on the season was Michelle's working the vets, I'm working the rookies. I was like, that's a great divide and conquer. But what really happened is that Michelle's doing her own thing and I'm doing my own thing. And then when we collide, we have to make a decision that what is going on? Like, we don't know what's going on. They should have had a conversation before the dagger pool of who would they save if we got the safe sword. Yet we had that huddle. Michelle still, maybe they did agree, like, we will save Johnny and Raven, but they still had to have that conversation, that huddle, to see if they would actually do it. And to me, that's just a team that's divided against itself, and it's not looking good. To me, it's not looking good. And if Johnny is in other people's ears and Jay is already looked at as a sneak and a snake, it's just going to spell disaster for them. And where did Michelle and Nany, like, where did their,
I don't know.
like,
I'm not sure when that
what?
happened.
Yeah. What was that all about? I was confused about it.
I actually did not know. Like, you're like my sister? Like, since when?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like, they don't even live. Wait, Nany lives in Florida right now, right? With Casey, or are they in California?
I think they moved to California.
And then is it Michelle in New York, or am I just making that up?
I think you're right.
So I'm just like, what? Like,
we saw more of, or at least we heard more of, Michelle like hanging out with Fessy at the Wizarding World than I knew of how close Nany and Michelle were. But that's a great point though. Michelle thinks that they're closer than they actually are, when Nany's just going to let Bananas do whatever he wants. You know, like, even at the bottom, she's just like, I don't care. You just pick whoever you want and let's just talk about it. Like, then Michelle has this visceral reaction of like, oh my gosh, we were sisters. And then Nany's just like at the club going like, hey, deal with it. Like, Johnny, I tried in the deliberation. I was like, Johnny, well, what about Michelle? And then Johnny said, screw Michelle. We're putting in Jay and Michelle. And I was like, all right, whatever. You don't think I said something to Johnny? Yeah, you said exactly that. And it was nothing. It was nothing. You've tried little to nothing to save Michelle.
No, she didn't at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, not necessarily to bring signs into it, but Taurus are loyal. They're going to be a little bit more of an emotional player than an Aquarius, which is what Nani is. And so, yes, Nani is great at politicking and we're like at like making friends and connections, but she's also equally as good at being detached and not allowing any sort of emotions to overcome her in this situation, because we see in that deliberation we have Michelle bawling her eyes out and Nani barely even like frowning. So like it's easier for Nani to turn off the emotional element of this game and just like screw over Michelle here. So that's also kind of another reason why I kind of think that they should be in the bottom tier. I'm sorry, guys, because of the fact that I don't know if they have the lucky group of vets, the lucky group of rookies in order for them to get a win. Like, I don't see there being one path for them to get to the end and winning.
You've convinced me. I personally think they could be dead team walking, but
I see it too.
But after your explanation of Jay and Michelle's like challenge trajectory, their career, and then thinking about this challenge and thinking how good they felt being partnered up with each other, getting into some alliances, working each side of the house, just to have not only Bananas and Nani come entering the game, but then also if they get rid of a vet combo or whatever, a vet rookie combo, there's just more vets waiting in the wings to come in one after another after another. It feels like quicksand, I'm sure, to Jay and Michelle. So I guess Nam's luck. I would agree. I could see them being put into Nam's luck because
I mean, we have so much hope for them as a team. Both of them, we want to see them do well. We like them both as reality TV contestants. We know that they should get to the end and win, but they just never seem to get their footing in the seasons that they're playing in. And so that's kind of a Nam situation to me. Like, Nam, we think that you could do really well in this, but you haven't really gotten the right configuration of people and timing for it to work in your benefit. So I'm glad I convinced you.
Yeah, after you said something, I was like, oh, you know what? I think definitely not pussy chicken, but it was either going to be dead team walking or Nam's luck for me. And after thinking about it more, you definitely was able to persuade me to be like, yeah, just thinking about the next couple of weeks, even if they could get some foothold, it's just like, oh my gosh, like just one after another. Like it's just more reinforcements against them. And even thinking about it with Nam being DQ'd, he was fully in Jay's corner. Like that is another number
That's
for Jay
true.
losing. So
I forgot that they were besties.
Think about this. Just at the beginning of this episode, Bananas and Nani come in, -1 for Jay already. Nam leaves, another -1. Then Casey comes in, another -1. And then being put into a very difficult position of possibly sending one of your two like people that you're working with home, negative position. But then Jordan and Nisa are coming in, another -1. It's just like, oh my gosh, like just punch after punch after punch. And it's just one episode. Also, Jelly Donuts is saying Turbo is also Jay's friend. During the argument, I remember seeing Turbo, Jay, and Johnny all in the same room while Nani is trying to like have this conversation with Turbo. So I even agree with that. I mean, it's just another -1. So yeah, I think this is just a terrible positioning for Jay and Michelle.
I mean, they're also dead team walking, but I think that like their luck is superseding like their game here. Like they just do not have the right group of people in the game to help them do well.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, things.
That was a good one. That was a good group after everybody else that came before them, and we were just like, I don't know. They didn't say anything.
I agree. That's fun. Okay, did I choose that one or did you?
I think I did.
Okay. Let's do. Oh my god, we're almost done. Let's do Devin and Tori.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm gonna start, and
right.
you can definitely convince me out of this. I'm definitely not dying on a hill for this one, but I'm thinking of putting Devin and Tori in the earn their stripes position. Now, Devin has not been considered the most athletic. He's supposed to be the smart guy. People are always saying that he's not going to be able to handle like a final because like it's going to be so much endurance. He's not really respected for his physical capabilities, but he was one of the only few teams that was able to complete the daily, and it was impressive. He was able to swing across that rope. He'd land on the teetering platform and pull himself up, and then allowed Tori to be able to do her part and get over there, and they were able to complete it. So I think for the fact that we weren't expecting them to be this like competitive athletically competitive team, and they have been so far. They won their first elimination down in the zone, and now they also were very close to winning this second daily. I think that I'm surprised by how well that they're doing so far physically, and I'm gonna say that maybe Devin has earned some stripes here, and that's where I would put him right now.
Okay. All right. I can see where you're coming from. I think I'd personally put them, I would agree with Willie Lloyd that I would put them at stirring the pot. They were nominated, seen as the king and queen. Now they have been usurped.
Shelly, I'm just bringing out debate topics, okay? I told you, I disclaimered it that I'm not dying on this hill for this one, but I'm just making an argument, an unpopular opinion at that. Continue.
I think they've been like overtaken. They can't be king and queen now with Bananas and Nani in the game. I mean, it's just you can't do it. So now they're like the prince and the princess of the challenge, I guess. If you ask Johnny and Raven, I think that especially with Jordan coming into the game and Anissa, I wonder what that's going to do. I wonder what that's going to do moving forward in the game. I think it's definitely going to stir up the drama. But what is that going to do to Tori's mental game with that added pressure into it? Can Devin, aka Dave, help out Tori, aka Dave? Can he like get her on steady, help her out while Jordan is over there canoodling with Nerys, or just living in the game, getting a bowl of oatmeal, running around the yard? Like, can he keep her steady in that game and be that rock solid competitor for her? I also think that they were nominated in episode 1, so they are on somebody's radar, and they did finish the daily challenge. I just think they need to win one for me to put them up as high as earn their stripes. I think they need to actually earn their stripes and put somebody in and make their mark on the game. I do think that they're a power duo. I think they're one of the better competitors in the game. I mean, just look at the daily challenge. They were one of 4 teams to finish it. But I would just say that I would put them at stirring the pot for right now.
Stirring the pot. Well, I don't know if I think of them as stirring the pot, because like I feel as though that Devin just really quickly was like immediately was so happy to see Bananas, and like, willing to kind of do whatever, like vet strong. Like it didn't seem like he wanted to do any meddling in this episode anyways. So I don't know if I see him as stirring the pot necessarily, that team. Maybe you're right. In future episodes, when Jordan comes in there and things get a little bit messier, things might get a little bit more murky. But I don't know if I put them at stirring the pot. Riding the fence? No, not a dead team walking, not a pussy chicken.
I think it's one of the top 2, but I don't think they've earned their stripes just yet. I think they did more first episode to earn their stripes than this episode.
Fair.
But I think that they were able to put it on cruise control. Like once you win an elimination and then finish a daily challenge, you kind of want to just go into the wayside. Like, hey, you go have the fight with Turbo. You do this, you do that, you get your hands dirty, and don't even involve us. We don't even have to worry about it, kind of deal. I think that's also a reason why Devin said that he's very happy that Bananas is in the house, because now everybody's eyes are on Bananas. Oh my gosh, that's the 7-time champ. That's the guy who's been on 21 seasons. And now Devin's just like, wow, I'm so happy you're here. You can be a number for me, but you can also be a shield for me.
Yeah, you could be ahead of me. And that could be indirectly stirring the pot, knowing that Bananas just being involved in the game is going to create some turmoil and allow the focus to be off of you and Tori. Like, people are going to come for Bananas before they come for him and Tori, most likely. So, all right. I mean, I don't want Jelly Donut to unsubscribe, so I will not put them at earn their stripes. I will agree with you and put those two at stirring the pot.
Just wait, Jelly Donuts. If they do win a daily, I'm putting them up at earn the stripes.
I moved it. Okay, so it's up there. Who do you want next?
Who's left? We're running out of people. I don't know why it was like Scooby-Doo right there. I was like,
we got these 3 teams here. So we got Banani, we got Turbo and Tamara, we got Horacio and Olivia.
Okay. Maybe we should talk about, I guess we'll talk about, these are the 3 teams that I think we're going to talk about the most anyways. So we can, I guess we are going to just put them in this new one of Eliminated.
Eliminated?
Whoa, that was easy. Woo!
Who? Sam and Kayla?
Sam and Kayla. And I guess Turbo and Tamara. I guess we could put them
okay,
in
so
there.
yeah, that's where they're going.
But we could talk about them a little bit more of
absolutely
what their gameplay was, and what went wrong? What is it that went wrong? So Turbo and Tamara, we talked about it last week. We just don't think that this team was in sync. They were even on the same page. I don't even think they were on the same show together. But they are on the challenge. They tried it, but it just didn't work out. This was just a weird pairing, an odd pairing. I guess I don't know what we're talking about. She could not get Turbo and the vicious teddy bear to be on the same side as her. They were walking out of the deliberation. Her and Turbo and Nani were having this miscommunication, this misunderstanding that just blew up the whole house. Everybody was against Turbo, and then and literally in the elimination, everybody was against Turbo. He just did not have a good social game. He had nobody in his corner really, and even if people were in his corner, they were not going to help him, as they were going to get turned on by the whole house. I mean, Jay and Michelle could have been rooting for him if he were as good of friends, but he's also going against Olivia and Horacio, who are also good friends with both Johnny and Jay. So it was like a lose-lose situation if Turbo was as close with Jay as I think Jelly Donuts had said. So I just think it was just a really bad season. Very, very close to what you were saying about Jay. I think it was just like nobody was really on his side. Nani wasn't even on his side. Nobody was even close. I mean, if Paulie and Cara were coming into the game, I would have felt way better with Turbo and Tamara, but it just was not working out. So I think I'm going to stop my rambling here and let you talk, and then we can bounce off of each other, because I don't know what I'm saying or where I'm going with anything that I'm saying.
Well, I'm assuming that we're leaving him in the see you never category.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past it. We could see him.
Well, Jelly Donuts here is making a good point. Helping people is annoying as a viewer, but if the whole house is against one person, it's a little telling. Absolutely. I was frustrated because I would have liked to see what would have happened if they really just went up against each other, because I wanted to see Turbo here in his first elimination. I wanted to see how well he could do when it's not something that's just brute strength. And we kind of lost that opportunity of seeing him actually compete. Like, I want to see what Turbo can do. That's why he's on this show, because he is supposed to be such a powerhouse in some of these challenges. And so I wish that Turbo was just a better player. he definitely is very defensive, and his back is always up against the wall, and he's not willing to hear people out. He always thinks that he's being attacked. He doesn't have a sense of humor, really. And I know some people in my comments were saying, like, well, would you have a sense of humor if people were always joking that you were a killer? I'm like, okay, maybe that would annoy me, but I would also not be barking back at them and snapping at them and not listening to my only friends. And I just wouldn't be reacting the same way as he would be. And if somebody said like an offside joke, I'd be like, shut up, screw you, and like it would be done. I wouldn't be like I'm threatening people. And so he just played such a bad game, even though we really wanted to see him come back, learn from his previous season, and do a little bit better. I could put him in a Nom's luck category for the fact that he wanted to compete with his friend, which I believe is Tamara's boyfriend. And that because it wasn't same-sex teams, he decided to go with Tamara. So he didn't really have a working relationship, which is similar to Nom's trajectory here, that like the teammate that he wanted, he couldn't play with, and so he got somebody else, and that person didn't really help him do well in the challenge. Because if they won the daily, that would have been a completely different story. But Tamara wasn't able to really hold her weight here. And Tamara, I really thought that she could have maybe reasoned with be the translator between Turbo and Nani and be like, this is not what he means. Like, he's just acting up because he's hurt, or he feels like everybody's against him. Like, I don't know, do some sort of mediating. But she really did absolutely nothing. He kind of just let him flame out, because it kind of like how Sam flamed out for Kayla. Like, I think that Sam could have probably helped Kayla and him stay in the game, but he just listened to what Kayla said to do as being the veteran or the person that has more experience in the show. And then Tamara kind of did the same thing with Turbo, just allowing Turbo to do what he does in this game show. So I could put him in the Nom's luck category as well. See you never or Nom's luck category. I'm pretty fine with either.
I almost think that one, it would have made more sense to me if they could have gotten Berna to be his partner, because
Berna.
both have done Survivor. I think Turkey Survivor the same as Turbo, and I think that she would have been a lot stronger to step up, and she could have translated enough. Like, she would have known the other competitors from the previous season and also translated to Turbo in their native language, as well as talking to Nani and being able to do that. I think that would have made more sense than her being with Nam originally, or Nam wanting to request Berna. I think it would have made a lot more sense with Berna and Turbo, and I think it would have been a lot better of a duo together. Like, they would have been able to probably to communicate and understand each other more, and maybe Turbo would have respected or would have heard Berna out a little bit more. So I think that's a missed opportunity. But I think the bottom tier is totally fine with keeping them in there after everything that happened. Man, yeah, it was just really bad. It was a really bad situation. None of the cast was there. I would say that the bananas joke was one terrible. I think the bananas joke was terrible. And if we remember the last time he saw bananas, he was against Paula, Cara, and Turbo's alliance in War of the Worlds 2. So there was that friction that Jordan and Bananas were on the one side of the house and Paulie and Turbo. And if the first thing you say is, wow, you're here still, you didn't murder anybody, it's kind of like, well, hi to you too, dude. Like, I guess we're going to keep on being just annoyed with each other. I mean, he called Bananas an idiot and hates him. Yet I thought it was very strong of Turbo to say that he still wants Nani and Bananas to win. So I'll throw that up there.
He respects Bananas as a champion and wants Nani to win. So I like the fact that he still supports her in that way. I wish he just had just calmed down and listened to her, because I don't want to have the whole house be against Turbo. Like, that's not a great feeling to have everybody working against him. But he just had to just ease up a little bit. And if he didn't have his back up against the wall all the time and was always kind of reacting to people, I think that he could have just allowed Bananas' stupid joke to roll off his back and Devin's joke to roll off his back. Like, he doesn't need to get so heated over everything, in my opinion. But I would have liked to see him do better. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I would counter that if Nani was truly looking out for her quote unquote friend, in a game where you don't need to go into elimination for a gold skull or a red skull, are you really asking a friend that you're really looking out for and want to be in the game if they want to go into elimination realistically? Like, I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't think that she cared. Non should have teamed up with Ninja. Agree or disagree? I'm not a fan of Ninja, but hilarious.
Yeah, no. That's another person that getting no confessionals.
Actually, is this true story? Tamara's brother is Ninja's boyfriend. Is that real?
That's interesting. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they were very close with each other, Ninja and Turbo, on the season that they did for 33 up to a point.
Wow, yeah, Ninja can stay home. I'm not a Ninja fan. Bananas and Turbo got into it off camera in the bus. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Nerys took to social media saying they were cutting out a lot of fights. And Bananas, I think, said on his podcast that Devin and Turbo got into a fight that was not shown on camera either, or not shown on the episode either.
So Kip and Klaus says, I'm the first to agree that language and culture difference is a huge barrier for people. I also think Tamara could have been more of a ride than a die for Turbo. Absolutely. Yes. She could have had his back better. Absolutely. Help him out a little bit. She should have been the finesser like Nani was their first season that they worked together. I would have helped them a lot. She needed to tame the ferocious Teddy. She needed more Teddy than ferocious. So, all right. We're almost at the end here. Who do we have left? Is it just our oh no, let's do Banani.
Okay.
Banani. Is it too annoying to put them at the top? Because I think that, they did earn their stripes this episode. Like, they kind of came in as this, like, oh my God, everybody's super scared. They even had the introduction with TJ being like, let's see what these ride or dies can do, or something like that, and being like, challenging them to basically, hey, are you going to be able to do better than all these other teams that went before them? And then they did, and then they won. And then Bananas was able to convince Nani to throw in her friend with Jay as one of the 4 people they're nominating to go down into the zone. So I feel like they proved why they are vets in this game with this episode and this daily, and not even being the least bit scared of who they're throwing in there. They weren't scared of Turbo and Tamara. They weren't scared of Michelle losing a friendship with Michelle, and they went in and did what not very many other teams, only one rookie team were able to do. So I feel like they earned their stripes. They're at the top of the board here for me.
I agree. The first challenge that they're able to compete in, and they win, and majority of the teams falter. And then you got Casey coming in, you got Jordan coming in, Bananas, is going to be like, look, these rookies came in hot, and the vets are going to have to stick together, So just adding more to their numbers. They made a power move. They got Turbo out of the game, which really doesn't get blood on their hands at all. I mean, who are they worried about? Johnny and Raven? They're not worried about them. So I completely agree. Earn their stripes.
Yeah, they did it this episode. And I know it's a little bit boring. I mean, I guess you could say that they stirred the pot as well. Definitely not caring who they're putting in there, and they wanted to get a lot of information, and they were deciding to put the people in there for the fact that they were all working together against the vets. So that could be also considered stirring the pot. But I think that they earn their stripes with their positioning.
Yes.
Like they put themselves in a really good position here to have all the rookies fear them, right? Like they come in and they go and they win and be like, and then they immediately retaliate against people that they weren't even in the game with to see this go down. I think that they're right now in a really good position. So yeah, they came in swinging. Absolutely. Bananas is the king of strategy and None is the queen of social game. That combined is a dangerous duo. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't blame Nani. She had to say 4 names. I've seen Nani here. Sorry, Michelle. Like, you're teamed up with Jay. Like, I just you should have maybe taken that into consideration when you chose him as your partner. Like, be like, okay, who are you good with? Like, should we work together? Do you think it will work out? Like, I would have questioned this partnership beforehand. So I'm sorry, Michelle, but you chose wrong. All right. Well, our last team, where are you putting them?
This might be controversial, but I think that they deserve to be right at the tippy top. Not saying that they're not going to see more eliminations, not saying that they're not on anybody's radar, because I think they're definitely on somebody's radar. They're on a lot of people's radar, especially the vets, because they were thrown in this episode. And once you see one elimination, you're going to see more. You're going to see more draws, and they are a team to be reckoned with. But I think that they got so much camera time, and it wasn't just because they were going into elimination. It wasn't just like confessionals of like, I'm worried to be going into the draw. I don't know what we're doing. They were one of only 4 teams to get through to the complete the daily challenge. There were only one of 4 teams to complete the daily challenge. You have TJ. You have a commentary from TJ going, this guy came to play. This guy came to play. And then you get a confessional from Nelson, who's just watching it from the sidelines being like, you got to watch out for these rookies. Then you have 11 confessionals from Olivia, not even talking about the elimination realistically. It was them talking about strategy. It was talking about doing well in the daily challenge. It was talking about Horacio's and Laurel's blossoming relationship. To me, they were just shown a ton in a very dynamic way. And I think this episode in particularly, they earned their stripes in a way that, again, the only rookie team to be able to complete the daily challenge, one of only 4 teams to complete the daily challenge. The only teams that were able to complete the daily challenge were 2 all-vet teams, and then Casey and Kenny, who came in late. And then they won against Turbo, yes, by the group, the crowd helping them. But hey, a win's a win. Asterisk is an asterisk. And I think that with the addition of Olivia flirting with Nelson, Laurel flirting with Horacio, I would put them at the top. And they have a very strong chemistry with each other is another one. Like they're both on the same level. They're not, I don't think they're, well, I'm not going to say that, but I do think that they're just really consistent with each other, where I think a lot of the other couples can be up or down with each other. And that's me ending my gushing over Olivia and Horacio. And
I'm like, are you Laurel here? Do you have a crush on Horacio?
Maybe just a little bit.
Well, I'm agreeing with Willie here as well. So like Olivia and Horacio have earned their stripes, but the only reason why they won the elimination was because they had help. If they didn't have any help, they would have been eliminated. We don't know that for sure, but
yeah.
I think though, part of the fact that why I'm going to agree with you, Drew, here and have them at the earn their stripes level is because the vets actually like them. They like them. Now, doesn't mean that they won't use them to throw them down to elimination, but they do like them, and they impressed enough people that they want to keep them on their good side, right? So Laurel, she's gotten heart eyes over Horacio because like he's like a strong male, you know what I mean? Even though he's 11 years her junior, she's got a little crushy poo on him because he was so good at these challenges. And I think that that is going to potentially work to her advantage and the other vet's advantage, because they could easily win in a daily. So I think that they earned their stripes for that. They got some respect from the vets, that they want to be in good standing with them, because they feel as though they might win some power, and it might be useful for them to have a rookie team that is not going to necessarily come after them. So for that reason alone, I think that they've earned their stripes. So I agree.
Okay, good. Because I was ready to defend them. If you didn't know, like I had all their resume down. I was gonna be like, all right, let me talk about it.
Defend them.
But I think you hit the nail on the head. I forgot to mention it in my gushing, was that in the deliberation before calling out the teams, I mean, Bananas and Nani specifically say, we like them. Like they both even said it. Like we both like them. We both like Olivia and Horacio. So I mean, yes, they called them to the draw. Yes, they view them as a threat. But to say, oh, we do like them, and even Bananas was like telling like Olivia, like, calm down, it's gonna be okay. Like right before the elimination,
coaching them. Everybody was helping them. They want them in this game, and that the vets usually don't care about many rookies. So
exactly,
I think they did some good work.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty solid about these this week. This is looking good to me. I like this. This was great.
Looking good. I'm gonna I forgot to post last week, so I'm gonna I'll post this one as well later. Okay, well, I wanted just to do a quick little game with you. I haven't named it yet, but I want you to guess who said this. So I wrote down a few different quotes, some of which you've said today that I was like, I want to use that one. But you definitely mentioned some of them. So I wrote down a bunch of different quotes, and I'm just going to kind of put them out of order here and just see if you can guess who said this during this episode.
Okay, I do want to say that I took the comments away, so I can't cheat on the comment section. So I just want to throw that out there. And second of all, I've watched this episode like 4 times in the past 2 days. So I'm hoping that I know a lot of them, but we'll see.
I mean, we'll just bang through as many as we can right now. I have quite a few written down.
Okay.
All right. Who said, my fingers feel like they have chlamydia?
I would like to say that is Devin.
Devin is correct. You got your first one correct.
Also, I just want to say I'm glad we're doing this game when like half the cast did not even have a speaking role. So this really plays into my hands.
People are supporting. You got this, Drew. They got this. Yes. They believe in you. Absolutely. All right. Who said, I predict that we are going to be here for a while, and I want us to have that trust between each other?
Ooh, that's a good one. I want to say, dang, I don't know about that. I want to say, I don't think it is, but I'm gonna say that it's Johnny talking to Olivia when they're getting ready to like over by the pool. That's what I'm gonna say.
Ding, ding, ding. Go with your gut. You got it. You are correct. Good job. Good job. Who said this is 100% a business trip?
Oh my gosh. I can see them saying this. It's just a shape though. This is 100% a business trip? Oh my gosh. It's I don't want to take too much time. I'm gonna say Michelle.
It was Nani. Nani said that this is 100% a business trip. All right. Who said no, that's too easy. This is a good one. Where did I put it? Where did I put this? A really funny one. Well, not funny, but I thought it was a good one. And I can't see where I put it. Oh, okay. Who said, I have a message for them? 2 words, 1 finger.
That was Turbo. And the only reason why I know this one is because I kept on thinking of Tarzan when he was like 2 words, and I always thought he was gonna say one family, but it was 2 words, one finger, which is a different Disney thing.
You are correct. It was Turbo in his exit interview type thing. Who said you admire them from afar for months and then you go unseen forever and then you have to live with it?
That was Horatio in the club talking to Laurel. That was that was weird.
Who said I just cram it down deep within myself and take it out on someone that doesn't deserve it?
That was Devin when they were talking about Jordan, and you knew he was coming in at the end of the episode.
Yep, correct. You are correct. Who said, I'm a badass and I'm going to show who I am here as well?
Ugh. What? Oh, is that Casey?
Close
Ugh.
though. It was Kenny.
Oh, really? That's what
Yeah.
Kenny's one confessional, and I miss it. That's how memorable it was to me.
This is easy. Who said, why don't you act like an adult and sit the fuck down?
Oh, that was Nani.
Yes,
Which I love the Turbo sit down. You sit down. I am sitting.
I am sitting down. Who said stupid strategy, stupid strategy?
That was Jay after they walked out to the board at the gym. I remember that.
100%. Do I got more?
My hands are sweating.
Who said, sit back and shut up? I'm going to do all the work and take it from here.
That was Michelle when she said Jay was a dog or something. Like, sit, don't talk.
Yes. Well, you already said this one, but who said this guy came to play? Oh my God.
That was TJ, man.
Yes.
I think he was gushing over Horatio than I was just then. He loved him.
You also said this episode while we're chatting, but I'm scared of heights and love. Keep those things away from me.
That was Olivia. Gosh,
yes. Okay. Who said we're talking about Daddy Devin right now? Did I just call this guy Daddy?
That was so cringe. It was Nelson. Oh gosh, calling people daddy. Also, his pants analogy made no sense. Like, I put on one leg and then Nerys puts on one leg and then we get down to business. I was like, what are you talking about, dude?
Wait, I wrote that one down. When we put our pants on, I put one leg in, she puts one leg in, and then we zip it up together, baby. That's called ride or die.
So ridiculous. It makes no sense. I think he like writes these down and then memorizes them before going into the confessionals now.
Yes, I do think so. Do I have any more? TJ needs to stop messing with my heart because I cannot handle all these emotions.
That was Nani when Casey came in.
Ding, 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 ding. Who said this is an intense game? You really can't trust anyone.
Gosh, man. Was that Johnny?
It was Olivia.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should have just went with like whoever had the most confessionals. Just like
That's
I know
true,
Johnny
right?
only had one. Like, why would I guess Johnny? Like, it's stacked against me.
Who said, is this how you won Survivor? Because I don't know if these are real tears or fake tears, but this is really good.
That was Jay. That was like the best confessional. That was awesome.
Ding, ding, ding. Do I have any more? Johnny's just doing too fucking much.
That was Michelle. And she's right. She's right.
Yes. Who said me versus every challenger or else it's not fair?
That was Turbo.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Who said we don't know who is steering the car? I'm pulling it one way, he's pulling it the other. The car is swerving. It's a little bit out of control.
That was Michelle, and I only remember that because of the weird like edit. They stabilized her head, but her body was like moving. It was like so weird to me.
We talked about this one, but who said I never thought I'd say it, but I'm happy to see you, Johnny?
Devin.
Ding, ding, ding. Do I have any more? We might have done them all. I think you only missed 2. Good job.
Thank you. I watched it so many times. I'm glad I only missed 2. Like if I would have missed any, and then half the cast didn't have a confessional, so that also added to it.
Who says I don't even know how to channel this paranoia and anxiety in this moment?
Oh man. Oh, I remember that. It was that. I think it was Michelle, right?
Yes.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
Michelle. Good job. And he's not my friend. My friends don't treat me that way.
That's Nani.
Yes.
Gosh.
I think that's all I have for you today. Good job. Out of all of them, you got only 2 wrong, I think. So you got most of them correct. Definitely A+ here. You have earned your stripes. You are at the top of the leaderboard here.
My heart was racing during those. I was like,
oh,
I
is
didn't
it
know.
3? Was it 3? Whoops. Okay, yeah, 3 wrong.
Oh, thanks for counting, Dolores. I could have left it at 2.
Fun though. Kip and Klaus liked
good.
my little game here. I thought it was fun too. Yes, you crushed it, Drew. You are awesome for sure. Have you guys seen the Challenge Global Cast? The cast is surprisingly good. We're gonna do a chat about that on another day, just in case people don't want to hear about some of these spoilers or the cast list. So we'll do that on a separate specified stream so that people that don't want to know that information won't have it. So yes, Drew nailed it. And before we sign off, let's hear how our teams are doing. I feel like mine is not going to be doing very well. We need a punishment if he cannot do half of them. Okay, I'm gonna try to. I can't really make them harder because it's just what people said. Maybe I'll put in a shorter clip.
You're going to make me lose all my time during the week because I'll just be watching it 6 times instead of 4 times. And I'm going to be like, I got to watch it all. I got to be able to quote the episode.
Phrase. I'll just say like 3 words. You have to say like who said it and then finish the sentence or something.
Can you guess the quote and how many words? 3.
Oh, yeah.
2,
bet on
1.
the words. Oh my God. That's fun.
It's like what was that show? It was like a music show, right? Where you can guess the song in like one note or something.
It's like, bo, and you're like, is it? Like, yeah.
Is it Paparazzi?
Tune? No.
Something. Maybe that was it. I don't remember. There's so many nowadays.
That's too hard for me, that one. But this one might be a little bit, it could be fun. We'll see. I'll make variations if I can. So just to stump you so you can't game me.
I don't think I can. I mean, but that was a fun game. I mean, if I can expect a game like that, I mean, I was really nervous. I didn't know what you had what you had up your sleeve.
It was named that tune.
Sweet deal. All right, so let's get into the fantasy game for all of our teams, and I have to say that first shall be last, and last shall be first. Well, not necessarily the last part, but the first team last week, Chris, is now in the bottom tier. Chris is third now. He only went up 10 points. He was at 49 last week. He is now at 59 this week, and it's mainly because he has. He lost his first team in Kayla and Sam, so they got him 0 points, even though they are still his highest scoring team with 18 total points. But he has a team like Fessy and Mariah who only got negative points this episode for DQing and no confessionals. You had Nelson and Nerese who got a couple of points, but again, DQ. Jay and Michelle got DQ'd, and then Colleen and Kim who did not have any other points, no confessionals, got -2 points. So he only has 2 points from them. But like I mentioned, Jay and Michelle is actually his highest scoring team with 19 total points. But Kayla and Sam is his second highest, and they didn't even have anything in there. He got 18 points. So
was it me that had Kenny and Casey?
Yes. So
Okay,
you
so
have
I
Kenny
can
and
do that.
Casey, and that is a great transition because you are in second place. You went from 31 points to 63 points. You went up 32 points. And thanks to Bananas getting like 9 confessionals, Nani getting 14, plus both of them winning, but you only get 5 total because they're a pair. And then I counted Bananas getting into a confrontation with Turbo and Nani getting into confrontations with Turbo as well. So you got a good amount of argument points, and only 3 of your teams got DQ'd from the game. From the daily challenge. But again, you only had Annalise getting -2 points this episode. Casey and Kenny net you like 3 points, 5 points, no, 2 points, 2 points total. Amber and Chauncey getting you -2 points, but Bananas and Nani only 1 episode in, 32 total points. Absolutely incredible. So you have 63 total points, and despite losing Turbo and Tamara and not having Anissa and Jordan in the game, I am in first place, going from 46 to 98. So I have 98 total points. Olivia and Horacio crushed it. 31 total points for me. 28 confessionals combined. They both had 14 over the last 2 episodes and getting 1 elimination win with 3. Tori and Devin now have 29 total points. Turbo and Tamara had 23 total points walking out the door. And Laurel and Jack has me with 15 total points. And my team of Anissa and Jordan are coming in this episode. So right now, I have 98 total points as of right now. But I am going to be down 1 team, but gaining another. So still fairly close. Still fairly even. Oh, yeah. Still fairly.
I switched the order just to have it who's on top right now. All right.
Okay.
I'm happy with being in the middle with the most amount of players. That's okay.
Yes. And I could see you having the most amount of players for a little while. Then again, you have Johnny and Raven who could be on the hot seat, but
they could also get us some points.
They could. They definitely could. I mean, I was expecting Johnny to be a little bit more involved just because he was going to be like kissing or arguing with somebody, but that did not happen this episode, which I'm very surprised with. But
well, and also, this was like should be my worst team anyways. So like it was a team that was my sabotage. So meh.
Yes.
If my sabotage team doesn't do well, like that's fine by me. I mean, I wish that somebody else was my sabotage team, but like if they end up going out, like it wasn't like that's fine, you know?
Yeah, heck no. I mean, they're still in the game at least. And right now, the sabotage team, I mean, Kayla and Sam are leading with 18, but Johnny and Raven have 16. So, I mean, they could easily get you a great amount of points. Next episode, if they're in the thick of it, you could get another like 20 points from them if each of them have like 5 or 10 confessionals.
I might try. I definitely need to change it up every week just because I know Drew likes to study and do well on these tests. So I might try a little match game type thing, or I'll change it up every week. But I will bring something to the
table. You see me, and I just have like I pull an Evan and just have like
ready on your
all
arms,
the quotes, all the quotes on my arms and stuff. Like, don't worry about it. I come in with a tank top instead of a hoodie. You'll know why.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. I definitely have a fun time this second week in a row that this was good. Like I really like what we're doing here. I find it really entertaining, and I'm also finding can we stump Drew entertaining. Did you ever used to watch Win Ben Stein's Money? Did I talk about that with you before?
I think you've mentioned it, but I've never seen it.
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
I think I've like seen bits and pieces of it growing up.
Well, there's if you remember Ferris Bueller's Day Off, there's that teacher that was like Bueller.
Yeah, so he's like the Visine guy.
Yeah.
Dry eye.
It's that voice. So basically he's like a super genius, and like he'd have other people compete to try to outsmart him, and then he just always like he was just smarter than everybody. He just knew everything. So I kind of feel like when I'm trying to stump you here, that you're like Ben Stein here. I'm trying to stump Drew. So it's fun.
So you're trying to get me to wear glasses every single Friday, because I only wore them because it like psychologically does it to my brain where I'm
Makes
like,
you
I'm
think
smarter
yes.
with glasses. I used to do it with tests. And so when you said you had a game, I'm like, oh, I'm wearing the glasses today.
Oh, put on your glasses now. This is like your alter ego is smart guy with the glasses on.
Taj Mowry.
Yes. Thanks everybody for being here. Drew, do you have anything going on you want to share with the peoples?
So I have a few videos this week. I got Patreon stuff happening on patreon.com/angelcakevids for the next couple of days. I got a live tomorrow where we're talking about the episode. I got a little challenge court I'm going to be doing with the chatter. We're also going to be watching CT's Dangerous Game, the most dangerous game, together over at patreon.com. And then I got this edited version coming out on Monday. Then I got a challenge video that has nothing to do with the Challenge 38 Ride or Dies. It's just going to be a fun video that I'm going to be putting together, challenge related, on Tuesday. And then, of course, Thursday's review and recap and Friday Tiny Table Talk, as well as Friday night here again, doing our power rankings, having a good time, and hopefully not getting a punishment for not knowing what people say on the challenge.
Fun. Well, thank you, Drew. Obviously, this is a good time. I definitely enjoy spending my Friday nights with you and everybody here in the chat. You guys are the best. No, I have not watched The Mole yet. I am going to watch The Mole right now because I've been hiding from social media because I do not want to get spoiled yet. I know I just want to watch it. So I'm going to watch The Mole probably right now. And then I'm going to go live with Zoe on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern to do our recap on the final 2 episodes. So watch out for that because it's definitely been a really fun series to be covering right now. And then, my usual love shows, doing like a little bit of Bachelorette on Tuesdays. On Mondays, I do a ranking with Sarah from Nerdtainment for Survivor. Wednesdays, obviously, the challenge with Michelle, Matthew, and sometimes Fanta. I think Fanta should be back this week. On Thursday, we're going to be doing the Amazing Race recap, and then back with you guys on Fridays. So definitely jam-packed fun as usual. And I can't wait to figure out what game I'm going to bring in next week, which is fun time. All right. Well, that's it from me. Drew, you better shine up those glasses, make them nice and clear because you're going to get stumped next week.
They'll be all steamed up.
Yeah, right? You're really so nervous that like they're fogging up. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. We will talk to everybody soon. Bye.